I examine a phenomenon that's usually referred to as maxims. The Arabic term would be qawaid. From the 10th century, Islamic jurists have started to formulate such maxims, and they also collected them, finally put them into monographs, from which there evolved a small genre within Islamic legal literature. So I'm interested in what a maxim actually is. I'm interested in its functions and its place within the overall structure of Islamic legal thought. Now, remarkably, the jurists do not actually explicitly state whether these maxims are normative or descriptive statements. It's a bit ambiguous about this. So I'm trying to find out how they actually understand these maxims. When you read Arabic texts from the 10th century, you're dealing with people who actually lived in a totally different world. Their conceptions of the world were entirely different from yours. Their values were different. They had a totally different style of thinking. At the same time, you must see what has come down to us, the crème de la crème of literary productions. So the people who wrote those texts, they were not dummies. So when you read those texts, you feel this intelligence at work. And this is what really creates a sort of connection. And that's quite fascinating to have this connection and admiration, in fact, very often, connected with the simple fact that those people think entirely differently from yourself. And that's an interesting experience. Well, traditionally, our conception of Islamic law is that it has not much developed after, let's say, the 10th century. It was largely immobile. And also that it has not evolved into a very systematized body. It lacks systematicity. There might be something to this judgment, but it might be exaggerated. If you see, or if you look at the maxims, for instance, evidently there is an innovation that starts in the 10th century, a new genre that evolves. And it seems to me that the maxims also have something to do with systematization. So if we examine the maxims more closely, this might lead to a new evaluation of the development of Islamic law prior to modernity. My methodology is basically old-fashioned philology. That means I read texts, I try to understand them and analyze them. Texts from the 10th century up to actually the 19th and 20th centuries. The problem, in fact, actually is often just the understanding part of it, because those texts are very specific, very specialized. The texts written by specialists or specialists for specialists, and sometimes I just simply don't get what they actually want to say. That can take a week to find it out. But I'm getting better at it. Up to now, my results seem to indicate that the main function of maxims was something that I'd like to style organization of knowledge. It is a way to present or to restructure the large body of information that has come down to the jurists of the 10th and succeeding centuries, with a view to organize that knowledge in a more manageable fashion.